Good afternoon, I'm Dom Wiseman, writer, presenter and four-wheel drive and lifestyle contributor to CarAdvice.com. And today I'm joined by Martin Poate from TRAKKA and also over there, Chef Willy. But before we get into the vehicles and find out what Willy's cooking, let's do a brief history on TRAKKA. The company was started in 1973 by Dave and Sally Berry, and together they formed a formidable team, not only raising 3 children, but turning the combi van into a legitimate touring vehicle. Today they build a variety of different formats, from a pop-top camper van, including the soon-to-be arriving T6.1, and I can't wait to see what they do with that build, but also larger van formats built on the Mercedes Sprinter, Fiat Ducato, and also Volkswagen Crafter platforms. And today we're at the headquarters of TRAKKA in Mount Ku-ring-gai, Sydney. It's a purpose-built facility with a factory and a showroom, a place where sales and product development work hand in hand. Now that Chef Willy's had a couple of moments to get ready, let's find out what he's actually going to be cooking for us. Good afternoon, mate. What have you got for us today?
Mate, today we're going to do a couple of steak sandwiches with some caramelised onions, some Swiss cheese and some rocket. And we'll be cooking that on the induction cooktop. Induction's a great method for this type of cooking because it has a really direct heat source and it's not interfered at all by the weather.
Perfect. Now I can't wait to have that steak sandwich a little bit later on. Now that induction cooktop is an option and it's powered by a 2000 watt inverter, which is also an option for the Jabiru. And it gives you a perfect complement to the onboard diesel stove, enabling you to move outside and prepare a fantastic meal. Now, we're here with 3 different vehicles, and I'll bring in Martin at this point. Martin, we've got Chef Willy cooking over there on the J4. We're here in front of the J2. Can you tell us, before we get into the nitty-gritty of each specific vehicle, is there a typical buyer of a Jabiru?
Not really, Dom. I guess anyone with an adventurous streak who wants to explore this fantastic country of ours. They've got to have time on their hands, of course. So, you know, the people with approaching retirement is a very strong part of our business. Okay,
perfect. And given the wide clientele, what is it about the Jabiru? What creates that Jabiru feel?
It's a totally self-contained adventure machine. That's what it comes down to. It's a beautiful touring vehicle, excellent product to drive. It's not a truck. It's very car-like, but it has all the features. It has self-containment for bathroom, sleeping, cooking, refrigeration, all tied into one package.
What is common, I guess, in the 3 layouts? What runs commonly across all 3 layouts?
Yeah, certainly. Okay, so our bathroom fridge unit is absolutely identical in all cars. So the switch mode bathroom is something that TRAKKA evolved with the retracting toilet system, which we'll have a look at later. But the refrigerator, the double door swing refrigerator and bathroom unit is identical. So then on the passenger side of the car, we have various sizes of kitchen units. You know, depending on the design inside. Sleeping quarters at the back of the car, out of the way.
Okay, perfect. Now, as I mentioned earlier, there's 3 different styles. You've got a J2 here, the J4 there. Now, the J2 and J4 are the long wheelbase format, and then we've got the J2M, which is a mid wheelbase format. Yep. But let's start with this particular vehicle. Can you take us through the layout of the J2?
Yes, certainly. So you can see through the sliding door here, all vehicles again feature rotating front seats. So this is our lounge area in this particular design. So it's certainly very good for taller people like myself, not so much for you, Dom, you don't need that. But you know, being able to walk into this sleeping area, have 2 metre long beds is very appealing, and also can be used as separate beds, single beds. Does fill in between, so we can create a massive big double bed if required.
And I must admit, I've taken this one away, and my fiance said it was the most comfortable bed in a motorhome that she's ever slept on, and that's high praise from her.
It doesn't surprise me. It is a very, very comfortable way to tour.
And in this particular vehicle layout, you've got a more extended bench top here?
That's correct, because being able to come over the sliding door aperture. We have a lot of bench space in this area with the stove, sink and plenty of chopping space.
And a very compact material in the bench top. What is that?
Yeah, this is a product we're labelling TRAKKA material. It is a high pressure laminate, but at 5mm thick. So it's very, very durable, very hardy, lightweight, but you can literally pick up a boiling pot off the stove and put it straight on this stuff and it won't melt.
Perfect, perfect. Now that's a 2-seat layout, so we'll get you to come out of there and we'll move over to this J4. Now, if you need more seating, yes, the J4 is where you're at. Can you break down this particular layout for us?
So what we've done is this, with the common fridge bathroom unit, is move it back 400mm. What that's allowed us to do is fit an extra double seat in this position, and it also then integrates another window. So as a lounge area for dining in this area, it's a lot more spacious. We've got great view out of a massive big sliding door here. Convenience of being able to carry extra people is very, very important. Because we've moved this bathroom fridge unit back that far, that 400mm, we've then turned the bed what we call east-west. So it's running across the car. So one of the features to get an east-west bed is we extend the distance from wall to wall by using these pods. We call them pods. Yep. So as you can see, that just extends our sleeping space for taller people to be able to stretch out in.
And I know you mentioned that the switch mode bathroom is common across all of the platforms. Can you just take us through how that works and what it does for an owner?
Yes, certainly. Okay, so this new bathroom unit is new for the Jabiru, the new generation Jabiru. So what we've done is increase the width of it from the previous generation. And the main benefit of that was to get extra knee space, especially sitting on the toilet. So you can see for little blokes like me, there's still plenty of space. So headroom, but also, without being too graphic, lots of space sitting on the bathroom with plenty of knee space, which is really important, especially for getting up and down, not having to crash into a wall in front of me.
Perfect.
So getting the toilet out of the way obviously is fantastic because of not having to fall over the toilet or get it wet when we're showering. This actually bench top is even longer than the J2. Right. Again, because we've moved the bed backwards to an east-west bed. So we've got massive space here, preparation, much wider drawers in this area. So a lot more carrying space in the kitchen area.
Beautiful, and plenty of storage on there as well.
Lots of storage everywhere. Overhead lockers, even under the bed. We've got a lot of storage.
And is that accessible from the boot?
Okay, we've got two areas where we can access it. We can access the front half of the storage from inside the car.
Oh, great.
So this is actually quite deep here. This runs right down to my elbow depth. And then we also create a boot space behind that as well, which is accessed from the back doors. One of the great features of these new Jabiru range, as part of the unit we call the fridge bathroom unit, is that the fridge is double door, double swung. So if I'm in the living area, I can actually access my fridge from here. Mm-hmm. But if I'm in my workplace area, I can access the fridge from here.
Great design.
How cool is that? And then crocky racks. We have a feature again on all the full range of Jabirus is dinner plates, dessert bowls, bread and butter plates and coffee mugs.
And then the final layout is the new J2M.
Correct, yes.
And that's perfect for a couple looking for something more compact or even a single person looking for something of that nature.
Very much so, yes. I guess we considered this the evolution from people coming out of camper vans, but still keeping this compactness of a vehicle that's under 6 metres long. So very compact, and as an off-road vehicle, obviously very agile. Yeah. Running down tracks, and you know, we can throw this around anywhere.
I have spent a bit of time in this one now, and I've got to say it will go further than I think most owners will attempt to go.
That's exactly right. It's not a truck four-wheel drive, but it's a very adventurous motorhome. Yeah. So the compactness, obviously, as I mentioned, being under 6 metres long is very appealing. Mm-hmm. But it still has a full bathroom, shower room, same fridge as the long wheelbase vehicles, but we're combining then features of the two long wheelbases to get the compactness. So it has the east-west bed, but no double seat.
Yeah.
So this is where we're getting.
Let's get in and have a look at that layout.
Yep.
Just to give people an idea. It's still, again, even though it's a shorter wheelbase, it's really spacious inside.
It's still very open and spacious. Nice distance between the kitchen and bathroom unit. So we, again, little blokes like me can fit down. But nice and open with the two front seats, plenty of space. Still the same fridge, still the same bathroom unit. A little bit more compact in the kitchen unit. But still the space that we just looked at in the long wheelbase 4-seat has the same, access to storage under the bed as well as boot space. But yeah, it is a compacted variant, so a little bit less overhead lockers and stuff. But as an adventure machine, it's fantastic.
But as you can see here, all of these vehicles that are on display are the all-wheel drive variant. Now that all-wheel drive system is a selectable system. So in normal road going mode, these vehicles are a rear wheel drive. Press a button, all-wheel drive will come on, splitting the drive 35-65 between the front and rear axles. In addition to that, there is a low range reduction gear. And what that does is gives you a little bit more control off-road, particularly because it reduces the gearing so you can do smaller movements. It also increases the torque of the vehicle by 42%. So that's an important thing to think about when you're considering going off-road. You want to have maximum vehicle control, and that system allows you to do that. Now, in addition to that, to help you really get off the beaten track, TRAKKA offer a variety of options for this vehicle, and there's an alloy wheel and tyre upgrade, I believe. There's also underbody protection, which is an option, and that protects the front, the diffs, the rear shocks, and also the sills. And then there's also this innovative rear wheel carrier, which hangs on the back door. And that takes the wheel from under the vehicle where it compromises on your ground clearance and puts it in a convenient place on the back of the car.
And much easier to access too. Obviously dragging something from underneath is always difficult, especially if you're bogged.
Yeah.
But this system here just comes down under gas strut assistance, so we're getting the tyre down to an easy level to work with.
And there's also things that you do that actually are smart choices, I guess, in the base vehicle that you offer that make it even more capable. Can you tell us a little bit about the engine and cabin setup that you choose as your standard fitting?
Yeah, as a standard, we're using the 3-litre V6 engine. Obviously, as an off-road vehicle especially, the extra torque is such a benefit. So the power and the torque to get out of boggy conditions, things like that, through sand especially. So the V6 is what we recommend. We don't use the smaller 4-cylinder engine. But then we integrate a lot of the factory options as standard from Mercedes. So things like I don't know if you can see, but the big 10.25-inch screen. But the information we can get from that is invaluable as well. So your fuel consumption figures, your range, and everything like that. But it also incorporates a 360-degree camera. So if we're running down a little track and stuff like that, we can actually see exactly where we're putting the car by just turning it on at slow speed. And as soon as you select reverse, it brings up the whole view. So we know exactly if there's a post next to you or a bush that you may not see. Yep. So it works very, very well. And
electronically on board, there's a lot of safety tech that's built into the vehicle, which makes it a great touring option because you're always going to be safe and well looked after in that regard.
That's right. I guess the level of equipment here is coming straight out of the Mercedes passenger range now. Lane assist, crosswind assist, emergency braking, city braking, paddles for the gear stick. So we can actually control the gearing very easily, especially in off-road environments where it's essential.
In the last 2 days, having driven this off-road, I tend to drive without the automatic sort of gearbox selected. I choose the gears, and the paddles do make it much easier on the fly to actually choose the right gear to be in at the right time.
Fingertip control.
Perfect. And in terms of the vehicle itself, what other parts have you added, I guess, across the range? I noticed there's awnings.
Electric awnings are common right across the three models here. Just a touch of a button again and the awning comes out. LED lighting everywhere. You can see the strip light under the awning. Yeah, so those sorts of features. We include some other really interesting, cool options with the Mercedes. Things like the electric door is a fantastic option. And if you do happen to get in the way, it's just going to bounce back anyway. Adaptive cruise control is available on these models too now. So that, again, all that technology coming out of the car range is available in this vehicle.
Fantastic. There's a fair bit to digest, and I think Chef Willy, I can smell a steak over there. How have you gone, and how did you like this little area out here?
Yeah, it was beautiful. Being able to cook al fresco is great to be able to engage with the other campers out here and everything. So no, it's been great. Plenty of room to get all you need done. Good experience.
Perfect. Now before we can tuck into a steak sandwich, I think we've got some questions starting to come through. What is the compartment under the fridge for?
So this houses a garbage bin, as well as a separate drawer above it for some cleaning, brush, broom, little odds and ends that we might need.
How do I keep the bugs out of my vehicle?
Good question. Okay, so we have side door screens on all vehicles. This is standard. And we also have one on the back door as well. So instead of going sideways, this one comes straight down.
And obviously on the windows as well?
All the windows, even the roof hatches, including the bathroom and the bedroom hatches, also have screening.
Now, it's cold right now, very cold in some mornings. If I'm off the beaten track and I want to stay warm in there, what are my options?
Besides a blanket.
Besides a blanket?
Yes, okay.
And a beanie.
So, standard equipment on the full Jabiru range is the diesel heater system, which can be used anywhere you like. So it's unlike an air conditioning unit, which is 240 volt. The diesel heating system is run through the 12 volt system of the car.
And that brings me to another point also about these vehicles. So you've got diesel heating, diesel stove, and diesel hot water, which means no extra fuel required, no LPG?
One fuel car. So we're running all the appliances you mentioned. Obviously refrigeration is through 12 volts, so through the house battery system. But we do not need any other gas system or anything like that. We're deleting gas from the car, which is a very appealing thing. So we have one filling point and it feeds the car, the stove, water heater and room heater.
What is the height of the all-wheel drive vehicle?
Yes, okay, so we're just under 2.9. It's about 2.86 metres without air conditioning and just under 3 metres with air conditioning.
And that brings me to a question we've got here. Can I use the microwave off-grid?
Absolutely, yes. So through the inverter, the microwave or the induction cooktop that Chef Willy is using.
Can you do a custom layout?
I guess the thing we're trying to do here is offer a full range of products. So we hopefully will satisfy majority of people's needs. The thing about our products are they are Australian Design Rule approved, right? They've been submitted for certification, so they can be registered in any state of Australia very simply without separate engineers' reports.
Yep.
So I guess I've avoided that question a little bit, but the idea is hopefully our range does cover 90% of people's requirements.
And what you've created is obviously based on years of experience and also customer feedback. So you've probably already honed.
Correct. I guess the idea is we've been using the Jabiru 4x4 now for 10 years. Yeah. Before that we were using two-wheel drives. So it's been a long gestation period and evolution, I guess. And certainly the long wheelbase was the one we've always worked with, mainly because we couldn't get the combination that we needed in the mid-wheelbase body. But now we can. Since this new model came out, we can get the correct GVM we require, plus four-wheel drive system with single wheels all the way around. Fantastic. Never had it before.
Some other questions. Fuel consumption, tank size.
Tank size is 93 litres in the Sprinter. Fuel consumption, as with any diesel, can vary depending on how fast you're going. But I can give you a real life example. On the way back from Birdsville last year, I actually did a very studious test of my fuel consumption from Burke back to Sydney in one go, 900 odd Ks, and I averaged 11.1 litres for that trip, which is pretty amazing. Now, I don't generally quote that low, but that was a real life experience.
At night time, so we've got a lot of owners will move from spot to spot at night time. What are the headlights like?
Headlights are good, but also for that spot, nighttime driving or manoeuvring, we've got fog lights at the front. So we can light up the ground around us very easily. And then also the 360-degree camera works at night time as well.
Oh, great.
So we have great vision around us.
And the last question about servicing. How does the servicing of the vehicle work itself?
Okay, servicing with new Sprinter is quite amazing how they're doing it now. They don't quote a time and a kilometres anymore. What it's doing is the car is monitoring how it's being used. So they say the service interval could be up to 2 years or 40,000 Ks. Not it's going to be, but it could be. And generally for motorhome people who aren't on the road all day, every day, it can reach that sort of range. Obviously the commercial guys are going to be servicing a lot more regularly.
There's other questions, we'll answer those, we'll put them up on the website or the Facebook and we'll respond to those. But that's our first Facebook TRAKKA Chatter Live. Thanks for watching. Hopefully we've given you an overview of the Jabiru range here today and also answered any questions you've had. As always, Martin and the team are here to answer any queries. All of the information on all these vehicles is available at trakka.com.au.
Correct, yes.
And I'm sure any inquiries that come through on the phones, you're happy to chat to anyone that might want to know anything about these or other vehicles that you produce.
Yes, looking forward to the calls.
Perfect. Let's grab a steak sandwich.
Yeah,
I'm looking
great.
forward to one of those.